Our postcard today is from royalty. No, not Elizabeth I or Henry VIII, but from the noble Stilton. Now, my favourite cheese is Stilton, but is it still made in Huntingdonshire?
No. Leicester, Nottingham and Derby.
And it's still called Stilton. But what's it made, Andrew, there?
It was made originally just outside Stilton, but it was the Bell Inn at Stilton which sort of gave it its name. When Daniel Defoe sort of travelled up the Great North Road, stopped in a pub, there was this blue cheese there which was wonderful, and he took it on up to York or wherever he was going. But Stilton, like I suppose cheese itself, is a bit of an accident. If you leave cheese out, it'll go mouldy. So 250 years ago, cheese went mouldy. We now actually mould it on purpose using the same natural bacteria, which is a member of the penicillin mould called Roquefort, after Roquefort, the oldest blue cheese in the world.
Oh, yeah, Roquefort, yes.
So we use penicillin Roquefort to create the blue. What I'll do with you, if you like, so we go through. Here we've got
lots of Stiltons here, but I only ever thought there was one Stilton, you know.
Well, they're all made basically the same way. It doesn't matter. Stilton is the only cheese in England, really, with a registration mark, although a lot more cheeses are getting these proof of origin things. But Stilton's been made sort of in a restricted area, under licence now since 1936, and 6 companies making it.
Ah, right.
And it has to be, stick to certain parameters.
You've got 4 here.
Yeah. White Stilton is the one probably people don't understand exists.
Yeah, and I don't like it very much.
You don't?
No, I like the blue bits in it.
Right. What we do, this one here is a sort of what we call a first grade Stilton, a good standard first grade Stilton. It's about 8 weeks of age. The difference between Stiltons and other cheeses is that we have to grade every single one. And, happily by coincidence, see that mark there?
Yeah.
Well,
is that where you put one of those things in?
This is a big yellow sort of pinhead, and we put the date of make. So each individual cheese is actually identified. With the cheddars, for instance, like the big cheddars and those ones, we take 1 in 50 and take that will be right. With these, you actually grade almost every individual cheese.
Do you really?
There's an old saying, something to the effect that, apart from the fact they haven't got nappies on, they're more difficult to bring up than kids. How much truth there is in that, I don't know. Anyway, what they do, you've seen one of these.
I have, yeah, that's what I was thinking, one of those things.
The grader will put it in, and the grader will go on aroma, you'll sort of smell it, you'll look at it, you look at the back of the iron to see the fat and things of that nature.
That's lovely.
Now that
Stilton I love.
Do you feel it takes a little bit of acidity on the back of your mouth?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So that is first grade Stilton, about 8 to 9 weeks of age.
Right.
Fairly white in texture. You can judge. Stilton is about the only cheese you can actually judge in any way, visibly. You can get some idea of how hard or thick the crust is.
Crusty, yeah.
You can tell the depth of the crust.
A fine port and a crusty Stilton, that's the saying, isn't
that's what they say. Not a crusty port. Then we go on to what we call a mature Stilton, and then we go on to what we call mature or vintage. The thing to do is always to taste it. Now here we've got the blue cheese. If you'd like to try that again. Now that should be much more creamy.
Much more creamy.
Because what's happening, that blue mould...
Much more creamy.
What's happening, that blue mould is actually breaking down protein without getting clever and technical. But that's where you get this ammonia smell coming from it. So you've got natural development of flavour, as you've talked about with the cheddars. You've got a development of flavour, 9, 12, 18 months, whatever. Here you've got the flavour developing in the cheese, but also you've got the blue mould breaking down, developing a second flavour altogether.
Right.
So this one was picked out at this stage at about 14, 15 weeks, depending what people want. Look at the darkness of the crust there,
yes.
Compared to...
And you've been having a go at that. Look, you've got a hole there.
That's not me, that's still sealed.
Would that have been the grader?
That would have been the grader.
See, I can see where he stuck his thong, or whatever you call them.
This will be different altogether. This will be a wee bit, you might find it a wee bit aromatic, aroma-ish, ammonia-ish even.
That's my favourite of them all.
Is it really?